What you saw just now was almost the whole beta gameplay of an upcoming game, The Finals. It is made by the people who are working on the old and iconic parts of the battlefield, and at the very least it deserved a try. I've played beta for several hours and now I'm here to brag about it. And honestly, there's not that much to brag about. It's a shooter in which 4 teams of 3 people shoot each other and try to earn for a living? I don't know, but the only game mode that was available, which is most likely their go-to game mode, is called Cash Out. Basically, you look for the money boxes on the map, open them, put them in the cash out machines and wait till the cash out. You're able to add more money to this machine while it's being cashed withdrawn, okay? And thus gaining more money, which is basically your team score. You also get some additional money for doing everything I've listed before and killing people. If you wipe a team, they lose half of their points. Now, when you make a game, you usually try to follow certain rules related to the genre you've decided to go with. The problem here is that this game mode feels like some random ass hat chase from Move or Die or the equivalent from Fall Guys. You have to hold the cash out or just have to steal it while it's almost done withdrawing. Just like with the hat, it's heavily luck based. Even if you get wiped a couple times in the beginning, there's a high chance you get at least the second place if you get the last cash out, as there is more money to withdraw at the end of the round. Now, while I'm not happy with the choice the devs made with their main game mode, what I'm really happy with is almost everything else. The colors look flashy, the explosions explosive, and most importantly, destructions. They look fantastic. Not only look, but they work good as well. Aside from the variety of parameters randomly set for each game, which are a map, of course, time, weather, mid-game modifier, and map condition? Not sure, but aside from those, it almost always feels fresh and new, as the level and way of destruction in every game feels different enough to keep enjoying it. Guns sound and shoot like guns. Maybe not realistic, but if they favor balance over realism, then I've got zero complaints here. Well, there are still some issues when it comes to balance, but they have made several patches even throughout the time of playtest, so I wouldn't be too worried about getting my whole squad killed by a single invisible dude with a pistol. Again. Oh right, I forgot about classes. They have something like that in here too. There are 3 body types and different guns and abilities for each. Agent 247 pounds has more health, heavy weapons, and can rush through breakable obstacles for a limited time. Often seen in pair with a healer, so it's wise to cut off his healing source first and then deal with the big guy. Agent 4'7" has a lot less health to spare, but runs a bit faster. He uses light weapons, such as previously mentioned annoying pistol or one-shotting knife, in case of a backstab. He can become invisible or have a grappling hook, which makes these little flies even more annoying. The best way to deal with them is by explosives, as they are almost one-shotting them. And the mid one, he's basically a healthy middle of both. He has one of the arguably most reliable weapons in the game, a decent amount of HP, still gets one shot from a knife, and he can choose a class between a medic or an engineer, both from Team Fortress 2. There's a bunch of other skills and guns, but you get the idea. The monetization system straight out copies the one from Fortnite, but I don't see any problem with that, as Fortnite handles monetization pretty decently. Now, after watching this part of the video, have you noticed the main problem that I'm about to state? Maybe something that you, my dear viewer, lack and think to yourself right now.
Is it okay to play without this thing?
Yes, I am talking about friends. Of course you can go with randoms or even solo if you're feeling ninja today, but come on. Communication in this game will arguably be more essential than in any battle royale you've tried to play alone. As in some Apex, you and your teammates ultimately have the same goal, to survive until the end. Well, of course, the second they hear anything sounding like a gunshot, they can probably run straight to it without even you realizing it. But here it's a bit different. You've got objectives to play around, and you've got to make decisions on what to do next. It's only 3 of you, and the other 9 people in this game might very well be onto your cash out. My original plan for this video was to meet some randoms on Discord and play with them, which would have made a great title of How This Game Cured My Social Anxiety. But I didn't. I just called my Russian friends instead. I really wish that the devs will communicate with its fanbase and take all the measures to make this game enjoyable even after 100 games. But let's be realistic for a second. I have a very bad memory that always works oddly not in my favor. But even I still remember several attempts of creating brand new IPs with fun mechanics and their self-crafted gameplay that never really performed well. Darwin Project is what always coming to my mind, but there's also Knockout City from EA, Hyperscape from Ubisoft, Masquerade Bloodhunt, This one's a real bummer. I really wish for Bloodlines 2. Radical Heights, Realm Royale, Paragon. Do people still play multiverses? You get the point, there's a lot of those. In conclusion, I want to say that if this game wants to survive and have its piece of audience, it's gotta overdo everything. Overperform, overdeliver, overwhelm us with what it has to offer. Even Titanfall was never really successful in terms of the amount of dedicated players. So my only option is to pray that the devs will be able to impress the community, just like I try to impress you with this video. Thank you for watching.
Please subscribe.